Like many gamers growing up in the era of the PS1, I loved the original Ape Escape, a wacky game about monkeys time traveling to take over the world and you, a young kid, being tasked with catching them again and again. It was a silly concept, but at the time, it was pretty awesome. Hell, this game revolutionized using the DualShock analog sticks, and even though it was annoying at first, it was still revolutionary. Ape Escape would go on to sell sequels and spin-off titles until it faded into the great unknown, with us asking the very important question, when are we getting a Ape Escape 4? I mean, we are living in a time where it's becoming easier to remake a game with more love and care just for the sole purpose of keeping the franchise alive. I mean, just look at Crash and Spyro. But Ape Escape was the one franchise I've never seen picked up for another sequel or remake, save for On the Loose for the PSP, but we don't talk about that, like, ever. And the question is, why? Why is it that Ape Escape, one of the Sony's most memorable series, never got a fourth installment? Was it because it wasn't popular enough? Was it because it wasn't making Sony enough money? Or is it because Sony didn't know what to do with their property in the first place? Well, we can't say it wasn't popular in Japan because not only did they have a 20th anniversary, but they also showcased some of the games that even we didn't get in the US. They even got an anime series that we never even gotten. Nowadays, the apes only appear as references and skins in other Sony properties. So it pretty much begs the question, if they pretty much have so many callbacks, why hasn't Sony said anything about the series? With all these references, and you would think that they would make a new Ape Escape, right? Well, not exactly. See, even though Ape Escape was still having a strong following, with me included as being one of them, and is still making Sony some money with Ape Escape 2 being available for download on the PlayStation Store, I think it comes down to two theories of why Sony's not commenting on the series anymore. The first one being that they are either secretly developing a new title or maybe a remake for the PS5 that's coming out soon, or they simply ran out of ideas and just left the series as it is. Now, I have no proof otherwise, and even though that Sony hasn't announced a new Ape Escape title, they haven't announced that they weren't gonna make another one though.
You lie! You lie!
I know, it has been nearly a decade since a new Ape Escape, but hey, Medieval was barely remembered by anybody and somehow that got a remake. Here's exactly what I'm thinking. Sony might be planning a re-release of the original Ape Escape with updated graphics and running it smoothly on the upcoming PS5, you know, kind of like the same thing that they did with Spyro and even Crash Bandicoot. And even though Activision was the company that pretty much remade those titles, they still had enough backing and enough technology in order to do it all over again. Like seriously, they did it first with Crash and then they did it with Spyro, and now both of those games are best sellers all over again like it's the 1990s. Like, if it can work for them, it could work for Ape Escape. But it could pretty much lead to them making a fourth installment with the same updates that I just said, with nostalgia and the love of the fans lining Sony's pockets. But if it doesn't come right down to that, and if this wasn't Sony's original plan, then I hate to say this, then they may have abandoned the series altogether. I know it sucks to think about it, but look at it this way. With each new installment in the series, there has to be new ideas that need to be brought to the table. And you gotta ask yourself, what new ideas could Sony put into a new Ape Escape game? I mean, the first game involved time traveling, while the second game involved going on a world tour, and the third game involved channel surfing. So what other ideas could Sony come up with? If you have any suggestions, leave it down in the comments below. Now, I understand being a game developer or pretty much writing a story for a game or pretty much working on anything having to do with a game could be really taxing and it could be time consuming. And with that, there's got to be more ideas and more stuff to pretty much get thrown in there. It's not just with coming up with a story, it's coming up with the gameplay aspect, coming up with the level designs, coming up with this and that and the other thing. And Sony has a lot more other stuff that they're working on that they don't even need to focus on Ape Escape right now. This is the same company that gave us God of War, probably one of the most best-selling games on the PS4, if not the best-selling game on the PS4. Did you not see how much time went into that game and it pretty much became a classic, an instant classic right there? I'm not saying that Sony probably doesn't care about Ape Escape anymore. They probably do. They just don't have anything more to bring to the series, you know what I'm saying? But if they do, and if somehow they are making a new installment, this is what I think, and this is my theory on what the new installment could be. Guys, just hear me out on this one. But what if their new game has Spectre and the monkeys somehow make a device that allow them to take control of video games, and with that they make everyone who plays these games into mindless zombies. And while you're going from game to game trying to catch all the monkeys that you can, you then come across certain references to Sony's other PlayStation titles such as God of War, Metal Gear, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter. I mean, come on, PlayStation has so many mascots that is just crazy. I mean, hell, Parappa the Rapper, I will take Parappa the Rapper. Like, come on now, it's a celebration for Sony, am I right? You get a new game and a celebration all in one. So Sony, if you're watching this and if you're listening to me right now, you can make this happen. You can make this happen. Please make this happen. This could be a real big game changer for you. But other than that, although Ape Escape will hold a very special place in my heart, and even though I'll always hold on to the hope that we might be able to get a sequel, we might be able to get a spin-off, or we might even get a remake, if anything, that would grace our presence from the gods of Sony and so on and so forth. We'll just have to sit and wait and see what Sony's gonna do. I mean, are they going to make a new Ape Escape title, or are they just going to leave the series just dead and buried? I am hoping that Sony will pretty much take the time to look back on the series, and then they will once again give the series the proper love and recognition it deserves. Hashtag Apes will escape. So thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me rant. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Sony might be able to make a new Ape Escape title? Do you think they can pull it off? I pretty much want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. I really love to hear your opinions on this one. And also, we got to get this movement and going and everything. But anyway, guys, what do you think? Do you think Sony should pretty much bring back Ape Escape like they did with so many other games? Or do you think Ape Escape just deserves to be left alone and pretty much left in the memories of our childhood and so on and so forth? Whatever you think, comment below and let me know, and be sure to leave a like for this video if you enjoy it, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell just so you can be notified for more videos coming out. Anyway, this is Crazy Ken. I'm out of here. Peace.